Hey guys, Senza here, and in this Shadowlands Alpha video, I'm going to go over the Warrior Covenant abilities. Now, Warrior, the Warrior Covenant abilities are pretty interesting overall. Of course, the signature Spear of Bastion, which is the first one I'll go over, is just overall a general good ability. Um, so basically, the Spear of Bastion is 1 minute cooldown, 25 range. And what it does is you'll throw the spear at the target location and it does damage instantly and then more damage over 4 seconds. And on top of that, the enemies are tethered to the spear for the duration. So for those 4 seconds, if they try to leave the area, they'll get thrown back into where the spear is at. And it also will generate 25 rage, which is great for, all specs. Really good for arms as well because of they really need more rage. So I'm going to show it on this enemy real quick. First I'm going to start fighting it, and then do a little bit more fighting, and then I'll throw the spear down. See, it does damage, and then if I move away, well, he didn't move, but yeah, they get thrown back into the ability. But as you saw, that it doesn't last that long, but it's still pretty good, and especially good in AOE situations. So let's move on to the next ability. So for the Night Fae for warriors, we have Ancient Aftershock. Slams the ground, releasing a shockwave dealing damage, and stuns up to 5 enemies. Also, enemies struck take damage every 2 seconds for 12 seconds and transfer to you as rage. So, pretty good. Um, it's not probably not my favorite, but it definitely does seem like it would be pretty useful, especially with an AOE and like world content. Let's go ahead and show it real quick. So, they get stunned, and yeah. Of course I'm in Torghast, but, that's the way it looks. Definitely useful. Probably not my favorite, but it's nice. Alright, so for the Necrolord ability, it's actually a two-part, which is pretty interesting. So it's going to take a little bit to actually showcase it, but basically it's called Conquerors Banner. It lets you brandish a banner of the Necrolord for 2 minutes. So this is a banner that'll be on your back, and it'll increase your movement speed by 10%. Now, whenever you use Raging Blow or kill an enemy, you'll get glory. So you'll get 1 stack for using Raging Blow and 2 stacks for killing. And what glory does is, once you reactivate the ability, Conqueror's Banner, it'll put the banner on the ground and give you 20% maximum health and 50% attack speed to you and 4 allies. So if you're in a group, this will also give them that bonus too. And it lasts 2 seconds per stack of glory, up to 30 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the banner now. So you see this nice bone banner, and you get the buff that increases 10% movement speed. And then you just go and start attacking. So if I put it down right now, it only lasts for okay, now if I put it down, it only lasts for 2 seconds. But if you stack it up to 15, then it'll last for 30 seconds. And so for 30 seconds, and as long as you stand in that area, you'll get movement speed increase. So I'm going to go ahead and actually use it in here just so you can kind of see what it looks like. So here it is. Boom, and now attack speed, and yeah. So pretty quick. Now the only problem is, of course, you have to stay in that area. So, while questing, it's not necessarily the best other than the movement speed. But it is a pretty interactive one. So I do really like it. It's definitely more interactive than, say, like Condemn from the Venthyr, where it just changes execute. But yeah, that's the Necrolord's ability, Conqueror's Banner. So for the Venthyr ability, I wanted to start out here first to show you because the Venthyr ability actually replaces Execute with a better version of Execute. So I wanted to see how Execute is, at least on this character, before going in. It does 1077 damage and only usable against enemies less than 20% health, 5.3-second cooldown, and generates 20 rage. So now when we go into Torghast to test out the Condemn ability, we'll be able to see the difference. So as you see now, Condemn replaced Execute. Slightly longer. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it was 5.3 and it's 5.4. But either way, it does more than double the damage. 2,627 damage over the like 1,000 something damage. But also it's usable against targets that are above 80% as well as below 20%. And on top of that, the primary target is weakened, so they will deal less damage to you as well. Still generates rage, so yeah, that's pretty good. And now we're gonna go ahead and show it real quick. Since it is just an execute, I don't have to really show too much on it. And yeah, we're just gonna go into this target right here because you can use it right at the beginning, as long as they have, as long as they're above 80% health. So yeah, and you can. It has a cooldown, but it's pretty nice actually. It's not. Some people may not think it's that exciting, but I actually really like it, and I really like the animation. See, it's such a cool animation. Um, but yeah, those are all of the Covenant abilities for Warrior. Personally, I really like Condemn, and plus the Venthyr just theme and overall. I wouldn't say Condemn is actually the best. It's currently it's probably one of the strongest because it does so much damage, and you're able to do it at above 80 and 20, and it lowers damage you take. So even though it's not a new ability, it's still one of my favorite of the warrior abilities. Um, the Night Fae and Necrolord. Night Fae is okay. I really like the Necrolord. I actually really like it, especially compared to the Shaman one that I did recently. I actually like the Warrior ones much more. Spear of Bastion again is really good, and it kind of comes down to me whether I want to do AoE or single target. I really like the Necrolord ability, but just in terms of usefulness, I think Spear of Bastion and Condemn is better. So for my warrior, at least based on just the abilities alone, I would probably pick either Condemn or Spear of Bastion, which is the Venthyr or the Kyrian. Leaning more towards Condemn just because I like it, and even for arms, actually, you would, considering the cooldown on it, you could probably get more rage overall. So Condemn probably is even better, I would say, for arms, because you're just going to get more rage frequently. But if you liked the video, please give a like and subscribe for future videos. I'm going to go through all of the Covenant abilities eventually, once I'm able to test all of them for every class. And as always, thanks for watching.